What's going on, guys? This is Wyatt MG. I'm a general contractor, and today I wanted to do a video for the young guys on, at least in my experience and by my profit margins, what trades make the most money. Okay, so I am a general contractor, but I am all in-house. So I do everything from the foundation all the way to the roof, the HVAC, the electrical, everything. Okay, I do everything in-house, and with that, I kind of have an insight on like what makes the most money. Okay, one, if you're someone like me who likes to be in control of projects, likes to be the big dick on the job site, and also is very interested across multiple trades, right? Like, I love pouring concrete, but I also love doing rough electrical and putting in an HVAC system. Okay, like I love to do everything. I love to get super fine into my drywall. I love to get into the painting and like the certain looks and everything like that, design wise and stuff. Across all things, I really love to explore every single one. Okay, now there are things that I'm better at, and there are things that make me more money, right, out of all those things. But I will always be a general contractor. And pretty much from now on, I'm doing only new construction. I'm done with remodels and stuff like that. Just a pain in the ass. New construction is probably the best way to go. And that's why I'm sticking with new construction and going from the ground up throughout the whole project. And I have control over that. I'm somewhat of a control freak. Okay, everything's going to be to my standards and stuff like that. That's why people hire me, though. Okay, so that's why I like being a general contractor. It's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to want to be a general contractor. And your life is probably going to be a lot easier, and you might even make a little more money than me if you are just a subcontractor that focuses on one trade. Okay? So I'm going to go through the list here, and this is by my profit margins on these trades. Okay? So first one that makes the most money, HVAC. Okay? HVAC makes a lot of money. It's a complicated, like, thinking trade, especially when you're troubleshooting and stuff like that. You really got to have a head on your shoulders, and it makes a lot of money because not a lot of people feel comfortable working with those systems, learning those systems. It takes a long time to learn certain systems, especially if you're talking like refrigeration systems and stuff. You're like in the money, okay, because not a lot of people like to deal with refrigeration. Second is concrete. Okay, my profit margin wise, I make most money from HVAC and then concrete. Concrete is a very good business to be in. A lot of guys are phasing out because these young guys do not want to take on the hard workload of concrete. So concrete can make you a lot of money. Third is plumbing. Okay, plumbing makes a lot of money too. I have a buddy who's a plumber in SoCal. He does very well for himself. I don't do a whole lot of plumbing. Every so often, these ADUs and stuff like that have a bathroom or kitchenette. So I do probably plumbing on 6 projects a year out of 25, right? So out of 25 projects this year, I maybe did plumbing on 6 of those projects. Next is electrical. Electrical makes really good money right now, but the problem is everybody and their cousin wants to be an electrician, and right now it's a race to the bottom. I actually, on a job, got outbid by a company that was bought by a private equity firm. For the last 3 years, they have always been more expensive than me. I've seen their bids before and stuff. They've always been $1,000, $2,000 more expensive than me. This time, they were actually cheaper than me by about like $500. Okay, so they've realized what they've done. The prices are too high. The market is getting saturated. Everybody can do electrical work now. Everybody and their cousin. So it now is kind of becoming a race to the bottom, electrical. So be very careful about that. But as of right now, electrical does pretty well. And because of that, you know, you can I can do rough electrical in one of those backyard offices. I can have that done in an hour and a half. Drilling all the holes, setting all the boxes, running all the wire. I can have done in an hour and a half. So it's very efficient work, especially on the rough electrical side. And then when I put in all the finished outlets and stuff like that, it takes me maybe an hour. I install all the lights, all the outlets. It takes me maybe an hour. Okay. Next is tile. Tile. Also, I could believe tile could be at the top of this list depending on who you are. Tile is a very tedious, very hard trade. Okay, I'm doing a tile job right now, bathroom. It takes a lot out of you, and being a good tile setter is tough. It is tough. You got to make sure everything's plumb, level. You're watching it, making sure your seams line up, making sure you don't have any ridges. It's got to look good. It's a finished product. You got to keep it clean. You can't be scratching it and stuff, right? I was putting up tile, and I put my level on it, and I accidentally kind of scratched a little bit. I had to take 2 tiles out because I put a scratch in them, you know? So tile can make you a lot of money. If you're a very good tile setter, you can pretty much ask for whatever you want. Okay, not a lot like masonry and concrete. A lot of guys don't want to do that type of work. It's tough on you. I mean, look at my fingers and stuff cracked and everything from the mortar. I've been doing tile for like a week, you know. I mean, and I've been taking 4 days off, so my hands are kind of healed up. But you can kind of see, man, like, you know, my hands are all nicked up and stuff. It's tough on you. It's tough on you. That also goes into what I just mentioned, masonry. Masonry makes good money too. That's up with tile and everything. I kind of put that in the same category. Masonry makes good money too, especially architectural masonry. If you can be good at architectural masonry and brick and very like that, you're gonna make a lot of money doing that because these people with money want certain looks. And if you're able to achieve that and able to provide that, that's where your dough is gonna be. Next is drywall. Okay, drywall can make you good money. You're gonna make your money on size of building or on specialty drywall like level 5 if for the rich people. You're either gonna do a lot of square footage or you're gonna be very, very good at level 5. Okay, if you can do level 5, you can charge whatever you want, and then on the square footage sides, you make a lot of money doing a lot of square footage, banging out a lot of drywall. So that's pretty much there. But again, it can't be a race to the bottom. You're competing with like Latino crews, immigrant crews, so just remember that. But there is good money in drywall too. Next would be roofing. Same thing. You're competing a lot with the Latino guys, the immigrant guys, so pricing can be a little bit lower. But if you're a good roofer and you're a trustworthy roofer, because most roofers are complete fucking dirtbags, you'll do fine in business and you can make a lot of money. But you're gonna make your money. The roofing profit margins aren't as great, so you have to make it up with volume. You got to do a lot of roofs in a year. Okay, you're not going to be making your money like being a special. Well, you could be a specialty roofer doing the slate roofs or the metal roofs or something like that. But roofing really is a volume game, kind of like what I'm in, and you're gonna make your money on volume. So yeah, you're competing with the Latino guys and stuff like that, but they don't speak English. They don't have as good customer service skills in English as you do. And so again, it's all about service. This whole business, this whole industry, if you're running your own company, it's all about service, man. That's what people are paying for. They're paying for you to answer your phone and all this stuff. They're paying for service. And so remember that. You can still get in there if you're competing with those lower bid guys. Next would be painting. Same thing. Painting you can get undercut a lot on. Truly. It is a tough one. But again, man, if you make the right connections and stuff like that, painting can be a moneymaker because it doesn't cost very much to run a painting company. Okay? The rollers, all of this stuff, painter's plastic, painter's tape, like all this stuff is pretty much the cheapest stuff in any trade, right? So your cost to entry with the painting is very low, all right? You're just getting this stuff. I mean, I got paint stuff everywhere, dude. Drop cloths, you know what I mean? Caulking, caulk gun. It's not that expensive to get into compared to like my concrete or something like that. We've got bowl floats. We got a million fucking wheelbarrows. We got jackhammers. Like we got equipment and stuff. You know what I mean? So painting, that's where you're gonna make your money, and that's why you can kind of get undercut a lot. But be a very good painter. Okay, people will pay money to have a very good painter because that's what they're looking at. That's what their finished product. So just get very good at painting and maybe specialize in a certain paint. Like We have a lime wash going on, a project right now. I could do it. I've done lime wash like twice, 3 times, but this guy, he's a pro painter. He does lime wash a lot. So I told the clients, just have him do it. Pay him to do it. Let it come out good. Tell him to leave me some touch-up stuff in case I nick something or whatever. But at least he knows what he's doing, and he's going to get the look that you want. So did they spend a little extra money on him compared to me? Yeah, because the way it works out, the painting labor was in the kit deal already, but they're going to spend the extra money to have another painter come out and stuff like that. So, yeah, they spent a little extra money, but they're getting the look they want. So, see what I mean? So that painter stole business from me because he's good at what he does. Not that he stole it from me, but you know what I mean. That's my list of the trades and stuff like that. If there's something I missed, you have a question on, let me know. Like, I didn't talk about tree work here. I didn't talk about, like, other stuff. I pretty much just talked about residential trades and what makes the most money, at least on my experience and my profit margin numbers, okay? Like I said, I'm fully in-house. I do all the trades. So that's my insight for you guys. If you guys are younger or you're just getting into the trades or you're doing a career pivot or something like that, and you want to talk to me, you have some questions, you want some advice or something, just hit me up. You can look for my contact info throughout my other videos and in the description and stuff. I do talk to a lot of guys down in SoCal. Here in the Bay, I have 2 apprentices on my crew. I've talked to guys back east, up in Alaska. You know, I'm all about getting everybody, having them feel some success in the trades. It is a very tough industry, and the more people you know, the more you spread it around, the easier it is. And so that's why this is my way of paying back. Right? I'm starting to do well for myself, and more guys are coming into this, so I don't want them to be led astray by guys who are charging them money, that are scamming them, all this stuff. There's going to be a huge problem in the next 5 years of people, I can tell, of people opening these trade schools, teaching guys nothing, promising they'll get a job after. The guys don't get a job after. They're scammed out of $20,000 for fucking school, all this crap. Okay? So, you guys don't need to spend any money on your trades education. You just need to talk to the right people, and you need to get the right job where you can learn on someone else's dime, unfortunately. You're going to get paid shit for a while because you're going to be working on somebody else's dime. They're going to be losing a little bit of money on you for a year or two. But once you are good and you know what you're doing, then I can start making money off of you. And it makes it all worth it. Okay? Then you let me make money on you for 4 or 5 years, and then I sign off on your license test. You go take your test. You go get licensed. You go open your own thing. Okay? That's how it works. That's how you do it. You're going to do apprenticeship for like 2 years, get paid shit, dig in all that, then you're going to level up, and then you're going to do that for 5 years, and then you're going to go out on your own. Okay? But for 5 years, I get to make some money off of you. That's the deal. But anyways, talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next video. Stay cool.